Hey folks, so we've got another PCB on the bench. This is a Capcom Trojan, Trojan board. This was actually in the Pac-Man Cabaret cab that I restored. It had been converted to Trojan. It was sold as not working, and I converted the cab back to Pac-Man, the Cabaret cab. That's in my room now. You can actually see the whole restoration if you haven't followed that, or if you're new to the channel. It's somewhere on the channel. There's a few episodes of the Pac-Man restoration. But I'm left now with this PCB Trojan. It's actually, I'm not exactly sure, it's probably the system type name, but this can be converted to a few different games. So Legendary Wings, I believe, the Avengers, and Section Z, and Trojan as well. So I don't know what I'll do with this PCB after, or if we can restore it, but yeah, it's cool. I have options anyway. Trojan wasn't a great name, a great game. I think Legendary Wings is probably the one people would probably like more. Myself, I don't know what I'll do with it at this stage. But first, let's see if it works, if it boots. There's a problem straight away that I can spot with this board is, well, that I cannot spot, in fact, is there's no traces on top here. And if I look at the bottom here, there's no traces on the bottom. So, anywhere. This is gonna be a problem. Well, first let's see if it works. Obviously, if you're seeing this video, it's most likely that I managed to do something with it, but nevertheless. Oh, so it's booting. It's booting. It's booting pretty well. I don't see any, you'll have to excuse the refresh rate of my camera, but I don't see any. Oh, there's no sound. Okay, we're missing sound, but other than that, does the control work? Oh yeah, wow! So it did work. It was sold to me, well, the cab as not working, but it could just have been a dodgy connection, really. So the PCB is at least booting. We don't seem to have any graphical issues, but we've no sound. So if I look at what we've got here, the layout of the PCB, so I can see there's a custom, I see a Z80 here, but I doubt this is running a Z80, I could be wrong. We have a custom chip of sorts with another Z80. People get upset when I said Z80 and they say it's Z80. Well, it's Z80 and Z80. We have two music chips here, the Yamaha YM2203C. Yeah, it wouldn't make sense that this is one as well, because this is our sound area. I would assume this is probably then our sound ROM, and then this goes through. These are Y3014. These are DAC, digital to analog converters. I assume, I can't read from here. Yeah, this is an op amp type of thing. It's going through that. Just amplification, regulation, and amplifier here, and there's a pot. So this is most likely where we need to start looking. Interesting. The problem is, as you can see, there's no traces and there's no schematics available for it. So this is gonna be slightly tricky. So I'm gonna just stop recording for a second. I'm gonna do some research. Maybe there's some info available, or somebody has repaired stuff and there's photos of or traces done, but let's have a quick look first online. Alright, good news, bad news type of thing. So while there's no schematics for Trojan or Legendary Wings or any of those, that exact board, Capcom had similar layout of boards, and Ghosts and Goblins would share some aspects. In this case, the sound should be pretty much identical. It was from... There you go, that's our sound. So we get our custom here. Hopefully you can see. I can't bring that camera closer, but hopefully you'll be able to see. I'm going to zoom a tiny bit, see if that helps. So we've got that custom chip here, and then this is going through our ROM, EEPROM. Okay. Here we have 374. That's a logic IC, but we have here on the data bus. So these are probably our inputs. This is a buffer. Then we have our two sound chip, the YM2203, going to one 3014 DAC each, and then this is going to this op amp. See these triangles here? This is actually one that one op amp chip I was showing earlier, and then this is going to our amplifier. So we have a very similar layout. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if it's completely identical. The reason I wanted to see this is that, so this 2203 Yamaha is interesting. It actually has another, pretty much another chip inside it. It's at least it's got the 38910 chip that outputs those three square waves lines. So the 38910 is a square wave generator. So it's actually here, but we've got this extra output here that outputs, and it's sent in serial form. And when you send it to a digital to analogic converter, it converts that to analogic and goes through this amplifier circuit to our speakers. Here there's SP indicating the speakers. So we could have either, well, we could have anything. I'm gonna just check. First gonna check there's something coming out of this chip. If there's nothing coming out, then we know it's before that. It could be that custom, it could be that EEPROM. If it's after that, then it could be the DAC or this guy, or the op amp, or the amplifier. So let's do some hooking, but at least I know the pins, and I can just double check that these are indeed connected. Right, I have a funny angle here, but it's so that I can pretty much show you anything. So these are indeed the two sound chip, op amp, sorry, DAC, digital to analogic converters, op amp, and our amplifier circuit. And this is our just audio regulation and the pot here. So that's the good news. We can limit our research to all these. So this guy outputs the square waves on pin 20, 19, and 18. But so these three here. I don't know if the game uses. They might do, but what I want really is the pin 23 of one of these. Oh yeah, and there you go. Indeed, we have some signal. Let me start again. See if that changes. So I'm started the game. Yeah, there's some. Oh, come on. Some activity on this guy. So we're getting. Yeah, we're getting just a changing. See the way it's sort of overlapping. This is a changing signal. If I change the synchronization, it just changes to another. So we have something coming out of these chips. Let me check this one. Yeah, same as well. So from here, pin 20, it should be going to one of these guys pins. So I should see the same signal going. If I look at the schematics, it should be pin 4. Pin 4 is here. Yeah, actually, yeah, same signal, isn't it? 2, 3. Yeah, there you go. So that's coming out of the audio chip going into the DAC. That's fair enough. So these are indeed connected, and from here the out should be going out of pin 2. Are we anything coming out of pin 2? No, it doesn't look like we've much. Hold on. Oh no, we have activity. Sorry, I just need to recalibrate this then. Yeah, we have something. There you go. You can see the. This is probably sound effects then. There you go. Yeah. This is sound effect. This is probably music. Yeah, that's much better. Okay, so this one is coming from here, this one is coming from here. So this is probably handling the music, and this is probably handling the sound effect. Now the game hasn't started, so yeah. So we have an output coming out of this guy. So from here it should be going to this I'll show you back in the schematics what we've done so far. So the YM2203 is this guy, that's the sound chip, pin 23 going into pin 4 as an input, going out as an output on pin 2. That should be going to 12 and 13, coming out of pin 14, and there was something going on. So, oh yeah, okay. So let me just show you here. This is our final amplifier. So I'm just looking at the input, which is pin 3, going through that. That's our pot potentiometer here, and this is coming from our. So this triangle I said were the op amp chip, which has 4 op amps inside. So pin 14 is coming from pin 14 and pin 8, which I assume then would be the sound effect and music going directly to our amplifying output. So I'm going to check pin 14 and 8 that we have indeed something coming out there. It should actually be lower in volume, but yeah. Or in voltage, and then re-amplified afterwards. Let me check this. Right, I'm at pin 14 here, and indeed if I start a new game, coming out of the op amp we have a signal. So this section is fine, so this is now going through this guy, and this is going to be messy and I might forget things. So what I'm going to do is I might see if I can draw the sort of outlined underneath, and that's going all to this guy. So I have a bit of an unorthodox solution here, but I've just sort of drawn the traces here just with a pen, so I could actually get my bearings on the other side. So here we have our custom audio chips going through our. Here is our DAC. Our op amp, coming out of our op amp on pin 14 here and pin 8. So if I start again, we should see. There you go. This is now going to this sort of resistor and yeah, capacitor array. It's going across. It's going over to a resistor here. Our signal should be much lower coming out of here. Yeah, it's barely visible on this scope. I need to. There you go. But we still have our signal, it hasn't been lost. And this is about right. So this is going to our pot. Oh yeah, the game is in attract mode now. Yeah, so we still have a signal. On pin 1 we still have our signal, still somewhere. So it's still there, so this is now going through cap. Yeah, it passes the cap and it should get to pin 1, or pin 3 of our amplifier. So we are getting a signal to the amplifier. Which one is the output signal here? I think this is 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 7. Indeed, we're just not getting our signal. This is what we're seeing here. Actually, I should ground this properly. What we're seeing here is the ground, the background noise from ground. So let me just ground this probe properly. So there you go, we have our signal here at, I grounded the probe, so our signal at pin 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 should be output, and we've absolutely nothing coming out of here. So what I'm talking about is this guy here. This is awkward, sorry. So this guy here, pin 3, we do have some form of output, and we can just restart again. It's slightly annoying, but here we don't have a pin 7, 4, 5. We don't have anything, indeed. And because I've grounded this guy now, we don't have the ground noise. Interesting. So I would suspect then that our only problem really is this guy. Indeed, it's running completely cold. Now there should be some heat on this, at least some heat. I mean, most of the chips here have some minimal heat, but there's nothing boiling, luckily. But this guy has absolutely nothing. So I'm gonna check that it's getting the right level voltages as well, just in case. It could be one of the caps actually, but I very much doubt it. I mean, we're getting an input, we're just not getting anything out of this. So I don't think I've one of these, so I'm gonna order one or a couple and then replace it, and hopefully that'll fix our problem. So we might as well take advantage of the fact that this is a 4-channel oscilloscope, and I'm just looking at the signal coming out of everywhere. So this is the output from the chip here, this is the output from the DAC, from the op amp, and the output, or the actually input into, after all this regulation, into the amplifier, and here it is. So we have our digital signal coming out of the chip. Then coming out of the amp, this is what's going. Actually, these are different levels of. There you go. This is our signal going into out. Sorry, of the op amp, and this is into. This should be a bit lower actually. Into the amplifier, and if I continue the signal, you can see those signal moving again, and yeah, there you go. It's kind of cool to see. Anyway, serve no other purpose, because we already sort of know that this guy is essentially causing us to have no sound. So like I said, let's get a new piece, change that, and see what happens. Actually, folks, while I was waiting for this guy to arrive, which it has now, but I made this little audio probe. I don't know if you can see over there, but this small pot here, this is actually connected to a speaker over there. This is an amp, and this is my little audio probe. It's very handy if you don't have an oscilloscope like this, and you just want an easy way to diagnose if your sound is working. You just connect this to the ground, and this is your, sorry, I disconnected to ground, and this is my my probe itself, and I'm just going to put that on here with pin 3 to check that the audio is working, and it is. You can hear it. So this is the signal going to pin 3. It's very, very low. I'm gonna lower this, but if I use, for instance, this right here, so different channels. So all it is, it's really a speaker. I might make a video actually showing how to make one. It's very, very simple. I just used a pencil. I think this was it a nail or just a tip from an old voltmeter. There's a cap in there, a capacitor, 1 microfarad capacitor, 50 volts just as protection, and this is an old alligator clip, and that's really all it is. It's just a small small speaker essentially. Anyway, so we know that we're getting our signal here, however low. There you go, but there's no output here. It should be pin 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's nothing coming out of this guy. So let's replace this.
Right, so we have our new amplifier in. This is the old one. This is actually tricky. It was fairly crumbling. The pins were so brittle, so I wonder if it was actually broken somewhere. Anyway, that's too late for now, but let's me grab the controller and hopefully, oh yeah. So it's quite a tough game, Trojan. There you go. Anyway, let me lower the volume. This is now working. Credit. Yeah, everything is working. Let me just lose here. So there you go, folks. This is, well, this was just a sound issue on a small Trojan PCB. It's cool to diagnose though. I've never done sound diagnosis before. I'm just used to sort of 5-volt logic and just, you know, digital logic. So it's first time really troubleshooting anything analogic. But once you understand how it works, it's easy enough. So having the audio probe as well is going to make my life much easier. I suppose with the oscilloscope as well. But this would be probably quicker just to check that there's sound somewhere coming out of one of these. And also, yeah, it's cool to know what the DAC actually does, and the op amp, and then the final amp, and all that kind of stuff. So this was cool to diagnose, especially considering there's no visible trace on this guy. There's no schematics available. We used the Ghost and Goblins schematics for this, which is slightly different, but the sound output is somewhat similar. Thank you for watching. Don't forget there's Patreon, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that sort of stuff. There's a Discord server if you want to chat to other people, and there's a Patreon page if you want to help the channel. Folks, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.